to say that nothing is being paid. It's Al Maktoum long overdue. It should have gone a long time ago. You see, the report is even made matters worse for him. You see, Mr. Ajimamenu is now embarrassing us as a country. It's as if he's our best talent for that job. But we all know he's not. You see, that's why maybe it appears he doesn't understand public service. Look, there are 1,001 citizens who can perform that job. The president chose him, but he has taken us down a path that has embarrassed us so much. So he just has to go quietly. But you see that he's digging in his heels. And then you have some of our citizens holding press conferences to support him. It cannot be long overdue. It should have gone a long time ago. You see, the report is even made matters worse for him. You see, Mr. Ajimamenu is now embarrassing us as a country. It's as if he's our best talent for that job. But we all know he's not. You see, that's why maybe it appears he doesn't understand public.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Great. We'll get to you shortly. But let's face it, look, things make tight. But staying connected with family and friends is a must. Surfline understands that you rely on daily revenue to make a living, and that's why we've introduced Pay Weekly data bundles for you. Surfline's new Pay Weekly bundle offers you value for money by giving you a flexible weekly payment option that is easy on your pocket. The Pay Weekly bundles are a simple, fast way to save cash, especially if you run your life or your business on a weekly budget. Time is money, and Surfline saves you a lot of it with all this new Pay Weekly bundle. Sign up to the Pay Weekly on Surfline today by dialing *718 *77#. Surfline, we're better together. Now, rent to own by Citizen Habitat is in Ghana, and under the Planned City Extension Project, grab your house and get an additional room with a rent to own land and house ownership scheme under the Planned City Extension Project. Yes, be smart. You can live in the rent-to-own state-of-the-art but affordable and secure cities and communities that breathe. Live in a carefully engineered city. This plus one promo offer lasts until 31st October 2021. Terms and conditions apply. Now, it really matters where you buy your house or commercial property. And the partners are Citizen Habitats, Ningo Pram District Assembly, supported by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, the UN Habitat, and others. Be smart. Join our affiliate housing cooperatives now for special benefits. Call or WhatsApp now 055 5530 or 0557 911 101. Visit our website newaccra.city or the Project Management Center on the Central University Campus, Miocho. The Planned City Extension Project shaping Ghana's urban future. Okay, so before we get to Kofi Bento, Raymond, briefly, tell us the findings of the committee as well as their recommendations. That's the committee set up in Parliament, the ad hoc committee, to investigate the circumstances surrounding the contract for the procurement of Sputnik V vaccine.
So on the non-compliance of Article 1815 of the 1992 Constitution, the committee found that the procurement and supply of the Sputnik V vaccine between the government of Ghana, which is represented by the Ministry of Health, and the private office of His Highness Sheikh Ahmed Dahum Al Maktoum is an international agreement, and that it required under Article 181 parliamentary approval to come into operation. This is in accordance with a Supreme Court decision in 2012, the Attorney General versus Balkan Energy Limited. The committee, however, found that, and we should note that there are two agreements. One was with SL Global, which is a Ghanaian incorporated body, hence that did not require parliamentary approval. Now, when we move straight to procurement process, the committee found that the Ministry of Health did not seek approval from the board of the PPA under sections 40 and 41 of Act 663 before signing the agreements. And the ministry, however, applied for ratification, which has still not been granted as of the time the committee sat and did this work. The committee also found that the PPA has not concluded its investigations into the matter. Dealing with distributors was also flagged. But another important point is the cost of the vaccines. The committee found that the amount of $19 was the agreed price of the vaccine under the ministry's agreement with Al Maktoum, and 18.50 under the agreement with SL Global, which was originally 26. So 19 with Al Maktoum, then $18.50 with a local company. The committee found that the expatriate price of Sputnik V itself was $10. Now, the minister explained that the price achieved on the two agreements included the cost of documentation, shipping, packages, logistics, and expenses in relation to transportation. One other point that's important to note here is payment to Al Maktoum. The committee found that 2.8 million US dollars, representing 50% of the contract sum of 5.7 million US dollars, has been paid to Al Maktoum, and this translates into the CD equivalent of 16,331,640, converted at the then prevailing exchange rate of $1 to 5.73, whereas the minister said he had no knowledge of the payment under oath. Now, there are some recommendations given. Generally, a recommendation to deal with the processes. So the committee is of the opinion that even the situation in the country, the agreement was signed, was that of an emergency. Due process of law should have been followed because Parliament would have treated the issue as an urgency one that it deserved, and the appropriate action would have been taken. The agreement would have been taken under a certificate of urgency. The point might also be made that even if it was an emergency, the minister should have found time to communicate effectively and engage the Committee on Health on this particular matter. They also talked about issues related to the procurement process, and the committee found that the ministry did not seek approval from the board of PPA, and they advised that going forward they should do so. In conclusion, the committee has discharged its mandate by diligently examining the two agreements, written and oral evidence on the subject within the parameters of the 7 terms of reference and the timelines given by the House. As already stated, the committee found that the Ministry of Health did not comply with the requirement of Article 181 of the Constitution in respect of the agreement with Al Maktoum. The minister said this because of the exigencies of the time. Now, it moved on to say the agreement ensuing from the negotiation have been submitted to the PPA for ratification. The committee determined that the agreements were entered into without prior approval. The committee urges the Minister for Finance to take steps to recover the money due the Republic in respect of the amount of 2.850 million US dollars, being CD equivalent of 16,331,640, being the cost of the Sputnik V vaccines that were proposed to be procured. The committee, by consensus, recommends to the House to adopt this report. So this was basically what they did.
This is the committee's report,
Yes.
and there are no recommendations for sanctions whatsoever against the minister. Let's get on to the phone lines now and speak to Kofi Bento. So, Kofi, I mean, going through the reports, the committee has found all these against the minister, but its recommendation says ministries, department, agencies going forward should follow due process, and the finance minister should take steps to retrieve these funds. There are those who say the committee should be recommending sanctions, or even if they wouldn't, today, the health minister should be resigning. What's your take on these?
Absolutely. I think that the committee should have been minded to give some ideas about how this can be prevented. It is quite serious. Look, let's put it this way. I'm saying this so that we give some sort of a perspective on why I think the committee should have taken this seriously. In the first place, if we gave an illiterate trader, pick somebody from the market and give the person a sovereign backing and said, go and buy vaccines for a country like Ghana, they would have done better. Totally illiterate person. I see people go to Dubai and check, onto China and go and find manufacturers for things that they are importing, and some of them are semi-literate. So this was so bad, I think a certain view should have been taken. Secondly, every law was broken. And it's not just law. Every rule was broken. And for me, I don't know how we arrive at a situation where a country like Ghana behaves as if we don't have a government. All right? Look, this thing went on. There was no approval from the ministerial level, from the Ministry of Health itself. No technical person was part of this. And this is a multi-million-dollar deal, an international deal that has to do with a very, very serious product, a vaccine, in a time of a pandemic when just about 1 million or less than 1 million people out of 30 million had been vaccinated and people were dying. The point is, nothing is as serious as this. And yet, somebody just got up, took multi-million, dollars and proceeded without even ministerial approval, without the involvement of technical people, did not get cabinet approval. So I don't know how that is possible. Did not get PPA approval, did not get parliamentary approval, okay, and claimed in error or deliberately in error that it was under COVID law, which was not under COVID law, and proceeded to lie to Parliament about payment when he had paid millions of dollars to somebody who clearly did not have the bona fides for that. Winston, the point I'm making is that it will be very difficult. We've done policy analysis for 20 years. I don't remember coming across such a brazen act of malfeasance. And I don't know how that is possible. So for me, the committee that was looking at this and decided not to recommend anything is just sentencing this country to more of such serious malfeasance. This is extremely embarrassing. It's the stuff that you see in war-torn countries, places where there is no government. And I don't know how that is possible, how it is possible for one man to get up, take government money, pay it to somebody without any bona fides, and just go and lie about it. I don't know how that is possible. And I don't know how any committee could have looked at this and not asked for a total systemic check of how all these checks and balances broke down. And I don't know why the minister is in office. I honestly don't think that resignation is the issue. Again, from a policy analysis point of view, we need to find out how this is possible. How many more things have been paid? How many more such things have happened? Okay? And we need to plug whatever holes there are that created this in the first place. So the way I look at it is I'm worried about the collapse of government and how this is possible. And still the impunity with which some people are taking it as if it's a very casual issue. It's very scary.
Talking about collapse of government, so the Attorney General warned the minister. Well, by the time the letter got in, decisions had been taken. And if you also look at it carefully, the minister subsequently sent a letter to Parliament indicating that he has become aware that payments were made in March. Is it not a case of a minister doing the wrong thing? Because if he had waited on the Attorney General's advice, he would have seen that he should have gone to Parliament.
Exactly the point I'm making. So I thought I was speaking too long, but I could have gone on to the Attorney General angle. How is it possible that a minister takes government money in millions of dollars to do something this important and does not seek the legal advice? How is it possible that without a legal advice he proceeds? How is it possible that when the legal advice comes, he ignores it and goes ahead? How is it possible that all of this happened? And look, we were on Newsfile screaming and shouting and saying this should stop immediately. Yesterday, Newsfile was also saying that this should stop immediately. Social commentators and civil society activists and co are having to take the space of government systems that should make sure that one, these things don't happen, and if somebody starts it, it is arrested. All this went through, money was paid, and the money is now outside this country. There is no guarantee that we are going to get it. How is this possible with all these government institutions in place? And how is it possible that a minister comes and says, oh, I now got to know about it? He is either extremely criminally incompetent for such a thing to happen and not know about it and go and lie in Parliament, or he clearly decided he was going to lie to Parliament. Both situations are seriously wrong. And I don't know, how is this possible? And how is it that we are sitting here and that man still is in office? Winston, this is where a lot of us are shocked. You know, how is all of this possible? And we are a country that has, you know, a government with over 100 ministers and over 4,000 employees.
Now you have 86 ministers. But talking about surprise that the minister is still in office, you said resigning is not the issue. Should he have been sacked long ago?
Oh, you know, absolutely yes. But again, it is not just about walking out of office and then feeling free. So if you, Winston, were the president and this happened under your watch, it will cast a total shadow over everything that you are doing, and you should be worried about it. Now, which is why there are people now saying, are we sure that he didn't have the sanctioning from the top? Well, those are legitimate questions to ask because
are you one of them
what
who's
is
asking
going
that
on.
question
But
too?
the issue is not just about walking out of office. Winston, I'm asking this question because I'm saying, what other things have been done like this? Okay, we need not to just let him go home and rest. we need to find out what systemic things went wrong and how to prevent this from happening in the past.
Okay.
This is the same minister who, as we speak, is embroiled in $100 million or so software issue concerning medical records. Okay, in the past, Imani has had occasion to write about snake serum, procurement. There's been a number of procurement lapses and malfeasance around this ministry and around this minister, and nothing seems to happen. So my real worry is, how is this possible in this town today? And how do we prevent these things from happening? And maybe what else have we missed? Okay, so yes, I mean, it is mind-boggling that the president has not had any, say about this, and the man is still in the office. But for me, it is not just about letting him go home. It is about finding out what went wrong. But definitely, he's a nice man, but he's clearly shown that he's not up to the job. If $2 million could be paid and you didn't know about it, or you knew about it and you went to lie about it, and if you could go through a procurement like this in such a shambolic manner, I don't know why the man is still managing our health ministry, which is one of the largest in this country.
Okay, finally, talking about what else we may have missed, are you calling for a thorough investigation of decisions taken by the health minister?
Oh, yes. You see, and I just mentioned, we are looking at a number of things around that health ministry right now. And I can mention clearly there's an issue concerning the software, for medical records, which bizarrely is being handled in a certain way and is creating problems. But we'll get to that. And I've said that I can immediately remember what we wrote about the purchase of the snake serum. It was a very similar situation. One man just got up and make a series of decisions. Even the PPA had to write and, complain about it. And there have been many other things. Look, there's a huge issue concerning COVID expenditures in this country. And it's as if before you are done with one, another one hits you. So we are not able to, go through these things. And it's worrying. I keep saying we are a poor country. And if we are not a poor country, let's agree that all of us are not a poor country. Because you can't have a situation where one set of this same society behaves as if we have a lot of money to throw about. And then when it comes to dealing with other things, we are told we are poor and we don't have the money to do basic important things. People are crying about beds in hospitals today. And it's the same ministry which is able to pay over $2 million to somebody totally for nothing. So yes, there needs to be an understanding of what is going on in that ministry, but not just that ministry. This reflects on government as a whole. So I keep repeating, how is it that the whole system loses it and this is possible? There must have been lapses in the civil service situation. There must have been lapses even at Bank of Ghana. How did you transfer this money and with what instruction, with what approval? Okay, and what is going to happen when a man goes to Parliament and tells them untruths, okay, about the expenditures concerning the state, and how did we get here and what is going to happen? After the work of the committee, we are happy that at least, they were candid with certain things, but I think those were the obvious things. Okay. The issue now is, what is the committee going to do, or whichever group going to do, to try and save this country from such a thing happening again in the future?
Thank you very much, Kofi Bento, for joining us, a lawyer and Vice President of Imani Center for Policy and Education. Folks, it's time to hear from you now. It's time for you to tell us what your take is. Would you want to see him remaining a post? Would you want to see him resign? Or you want the president to fire him? 0302 216 541 and 055 1111 997. The phone lines have been activated. Raymond.
I agree with the view that you wanted to ask me a question, but I agree with the view that his tenure should be probed. Yes, he has admitted to some lapses and all of that, but we should know the extent of the damage done under Kweku Agyeman-Manu so that we can deal with it comprehensively. More importantly, beyond having to leave office nicely, we should be able to, if there's reason to do so, prosecute him for further lapses in the performance of his duties. That's the only way you send a clear signal to people that government business is serious business.
Okay, so the phone lines have been activated on 0302 216 541, 0302 216 541, and 055 1111 997. We want you to tell us, should Kweku Agyeman-Manu resign? Should he be fired by the president? or you want him to continue his functions as health minister of the Republic of Ghana? Let's get on to the phone lines now. Hamza has joined us. Hamza, good morning, and share your thought with us. Hello, Hamza.
Yes. Hello.
Yes, hello. Good morning, Hamza. How are you doing?
My name is Hamza. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine, Wilson.
Good. Share your thought with us.
My greetings to your panelists and Mr. Kofi Bento. I heard him on the news file on Saturday. My question is, so for how long will this continue? For how long will this continue? So how long? I am very sad. And in fact, the demeanor, the minister was like in front of the committee, the way he talked. And in fact, why? It doesn't mean that he can do something that Ghanaian or like no one can talk about with impunity like that. Oh, I'm very sad, and so I can't continue. Let someone continue. Thank you.
Should he be sacked or he should resign?
Yes. See, it is long overdue. Long overdue.
Okay, thank you.
He should do it honorably.
Okay. Thank you very much, Hamza. You want him to do the honorable thing by resigning. You can also join us and tell us what your thoughts are. 0302 216 541 and then 055 1111997.
I know you have a call to take.
Yes, I have a call to take. But
quickly,
yes.
We have a poll that's already running on Joy997. It's asking, should the health minister resign? And there are interesting comments under that. Okay. I'll give you the details in a couple of minutes from now if you're able to do so. Or if you want it now, I can tell you.
Let me get on to Ransford in Adabraka. I'll get back to you.
Wonderful.
And then we'll pick we'll get all those tweets. Ransford, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us.
Winston, good morning.
Should he go or should he stay?
Oh, I think he should go and he should be prosecuted. You remember at a point in time, during Dom Level's time, there was some procurement infractions. And I quite remember on News File, when Apenyo Martins was putting his argument across, he asked that who was the head of entity at the time, because Dom Level had written back to try to correct the infractions on this procurement. So why does Apenyo Martins now come and tell us that the minister has been candid, knowing very well that the minister actually lied? And this is perjury. I think the minister should be sacked and prosecuted.
Well, the minister says to the best of his knowledge.
And they are not immune to the laws. No, he should be prosecuted. He shouldn't be left to be, going about his duties. This is wrong.
Okay.
This is wrong.
Thank you very much, Ransford from Adabraka. Lukman is at Teshi. Lukman, should he
Hello,
stay?
good morning, Mr. Wilson.
Yes, Lukman, should he stay or should he go?
He should have been sacked for a long time, Kura. Not only sacked and prosecuted, just like the former housing minister is being prosecuted now. His case is even worse than the former housing minister. I think this case should be the test for special prosecutor. I don't know if somebody can petition him to take it over. Okay. He shouldn't go free because the case is too much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lukman, for joining us. We head straight to Taifa, where Ernest is. Ernest, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. Should he stay or go?
Good morning, Wednesday.
Should he stay or go? Yes, Ernest, I can hear you. Should he stay or go?
In fact, I'm very sad for Mother Jan. To the extent that when you are in public office and you are running an office, we don't treat it as our personal office that you can do anything anyhow. But we run the country by law. So I think the honorable minister should do honorable. We don't want to taking one person will carry the image of this government. This government, Nanado-led government, is doing well. We don't want one person to come and destroy the image of this government, so he should go.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ernest from Taifa. Just around Taifa, we get to mile 7, where George Ni is. George, good morning. Good morning, George. I think we've lost you, George. Kindly try and get in touch with us again on 0302 216 541. Raymond, let's get a bit of the tweets. We'll get back onto the phone shortly.
So now Prosper says, where is the sacked and prosecuted option on our poll. So we only ask yes or no whether he should resign, but he's asking where is the sacked and prosecuted option. This one says, rectify, says he shouldn't just resign. He must be prosecuted for causing financial loss to the state. This is a clear case of create, loot, and share by the Akufo-Addo government. And Akosua says he should have done this honorable thing long ago. That's when he was put before the committee, knowing he's at fault. But no, he kept defending himself by getting the sympathy of Bibini syndrome. I beg, what we need right now is not his resignation, but the punishment.
We'll get back to you shortly, Raymond. Let's get back onto the phone lines. Eric is in Accra. Eric, good morning.
Yes, good morning. How are you doing?
Eric, God is taking care of us. How about you?
I'm managing life to the glory of God.
Great, Eric.
Unfortunately, I joined the program much later after it had started.
But we asked you a simple question.
I like your question, should he go or should he stay?
Yes.
And I'm waiting for a question like, hey, what will you do if you were in his seat?
Tell us, what would you have done?
What would one do if one was in his seat? in the health minister's seat in this time? I think we need to be a bit cautious about how we manage such situations when they come up, especially when we are in abnormal times. It's all right to find out like we're doing now and sharing. But at the end of the day, we need to be careful too, because the health ministry must run. If we say we're going to take resign or go or fire him and all those, we may be setting the ministry back. But in the pandemic, and we still need to get our health service industry up and working. So let's be very careful and cautious about how we discuss and manage these things, because most of the time when these things happen, there'll be post-activity, and we seldom look at what we will place ourselves in the person's shoes and ask, what would I have done if I was in his seat at that time? So we get to come to some much more prudent ways of handling these things under the circumstances. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Eric, for joining us. John, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Winston. How are you doing?
I'm fine. John, how about you?
Yeah, I'm good. John, Winston, Mirahu.
Oh, why don't Rahul?
Mirahu, Ghana, Miss NDC and MPP. When you camp after 8 years, before I proceed to make my submission, I want to ask you this simple question. Your head of finance at Joy FM, if he should make certain fictitious payments, what do you think will happen to him? What do you think will happen to him?
Go ahead. Make your point.
Trick question.
And I don't blame the man. The man has come to lie before Ghanaians. And I want you to play the tapes of Afanya Markin and then the majority leader. I mean, I am so sad. These are people who are leaders because they can speak big English and they are in power. I'm sad though. I am very sad. The man has come to lie. And then you Afanya Markin, you are defending him. The majority leader, you are defending him. Because your party is in power. And I'm saying the same thing. The next time, if it is to be NDC, they will do same. Charlie, Master, we have a long way to go.
Thank you very much, John, for joining us. Nana is our next caller. Nana, good morning.
Yeah, Wilson, good morning.
Yes, Nana.
Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing well. I believe you're fine too.
Yes, Wilson, I'm sad this morning. That under Nana Aduda Akufo-Addo, this is happening under his watch. I'm surprised. If it had been somebody who has gone to steal a bunch of plantain, that person would have been thrown into jail long ago. And look at the amount of money that we have wasted. Let any public officer go through something without going through procurement. 2,000 Ghana cedis. Don't go through procurement. And you'll be held before Public Accounts Committee. What are we saying to the politicians? And what do they take us for? Are they different people? As my man, I'm so disappointed in him. So disappointed. No, he's a vandal. So disappointed in him. A chartered accountant, and you did this? You should do the honorable thing and be prosecuted. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nana, for joining us. Let's see if we have George from Sacramento on the line. George, good morning. Okay, I think we lost George from Sacramento. Yes, Raymond, some
I
more
know
tweets.
you have a few seconds to go, but the poll now stands at those who are saying, should the health minister resign? The yes is 88% and the no is 12%. Now, 477 people have voted in the poll that started not long ago, barely an hour ago. And there are messages related to it. Edem Kojo says, put frankly, in Ghana, hardly do you see public officers resigning for misappropriation of funds, but he should be prosecuted ASAP.
Let me get to a final caller, Mohammed from Ablek. Mohammed, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Winston.
Yes, Mohammed.
Thank you for your good work in the motherland.
Thank you.
I didn't hear from you from the beginning, but I just seen almost, let me say, 3 callers before me. So, you see, what is bothering me here is, you see, this our motherland. The politicians take everybody to be a politician. Even the churches and the Muslims, they put all of them at a political race. Why is it that happen? We have a political function and we have the lovers of the Lord function. We are another politicians, especially like me here. I count myself out of the politicians. That is why I always blame the judicial sector in our motherland. They allow the politicians to use them. Look at when we went to court 2021. They said somebody shouldn't speak for the public fund, and that happened. What is the judicial rule? You see, when we are playing with the judicial sector, it will harm them and harm we too as a poor people. So we should mindful on what we are doing because of God is going to judge us about our words. Look at what the president is telling us. One district, one person. It is not function. The people are backing him. All those people, they are committing crime. So when we're mindful of whatsoever we are saying, they said don't compose a word when the word is not there. That is what Quran said. That is what Bible said. So when we are mindful of our speech, the motherland, we have a lot. We have the gold. Why the Nanado saying yet is come here? If we have the mind, what we have to pray here is God should give us a good reason so that we can reason very well and use the money for the good, not for the goods.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mohammed from Ablek. May it be a final caller. Please bear with us. Of course, the conversation continues on Twitter and Facebook and on WhatsApp. But coming up shortly, our friends from MasterCard Foundation will be joining us here on the Super Morning Show after these messages.
Yeah, you know me, I do for this what y'all been waiting for. Where your friend in trap was I'm a disco.
Joy 99.7 FM.
This that second sermon brought to you by Red Blacko. Real trenches, baby, straight out of Konoguzongo. Tap in with the God body Flico. Make you don't forget the Wallahi shake by baby though. Yeah, y'all know I only with that real shit. Yeah, NTS, I'm a corny rappers, they bro show ass rappers. Let's go. Niggas see that strap and plenty talking, I swear to God. Transaction in them, see can be a stage, I might block no so